Hello, welcome to my crafty channel. I'm Paula and I'm here to start a new series about capturing travel memories. Now that is one of the real reasons why I do my scrapbooking, is to capture my memories and so I can relive them over and over. I thoroughly enjoy putting together an album. It is a lot of creative fun, but it's also that ability to look back over the next couple of years or 10 years or 20 years at some of those really fun memories that we created. Now I do albums for my children, I do albums for different themes, but this one, travel, is actually probably my favourite. It is a defined period of time and I really love how you can put together that whole essence of your trip so that it can be there for others to enjoy as well. So join me on my journey. It's going to probably take a few months to get through all my photos of a trip that I just recently went with my daughter. We went to Southeast Asia and it was a whirlwind of fun, and I have over 1,300 photos in my camera roll, so there's plenty to scrapbook. So do join us and see how this album comes together. So usually the first thing when you get back from a holiday is the overwhelm. You have got photos in your camera roll that go for days and days and days. And of course at the time you thought it was worthwhile taking 20 photos of the same image, but afterwards it's all that filtering and organising that you need to do. So as you can see here, this is just a couple of my 21 days. There are just photos galore and I have got a bit of sorting to do. What I do like to do is go through my photos and first of all pick out some of my favourites. And on all phone functions, you can right click and just put a little love heart, and that gives you that favourites effect. So as you can see here, here's my filtered list of favourites. However, that's not all I want to do. I actually want to separate my photos into different categories. So what I'm showing you here is that I go into my camera roll, I edit and select multiple photos at once. And then what I'm going to do is go down to those three little dots and I'm going to copy these to an album. So I create an album for either each day or each theme of what I want to scrapbook. In this case, these are just some odd photos I'm going to put into Olivia's 21st album. So I create this new little album and then I can go back to my album selection, find that one album, and it filters directly to those photos. With my photos organised by album and by favourites, I then look at all my memorabilia, or the little tickets I might have kept, and look through my diary that I write daily. So this gives me a really good idea of what I've got to work with, and it allows me to put together a little list of different pages I might want to put into my album. So this is where we get to the best part, and that is when you can go through your stash and look for papers and embellishments and stamp sets and any bits and pieces you think might work for the theme of your holiday. Now I have just been looking online, and there is some really fabulous paper, sort of a suite of papers that is quite generic, and I thought, I haven't used this paper yet. I know I've got it in my stash. It's called the Mixed Media Florals, and it is this lovely eclectic mix of papers, and I'll just show you what they look like. For me, it gives me the vibe of being out and traveling. It's also got some fabulous colours that are going to work with the outdoors, as well as, you know, city life, as well as I guess adventures, the beautiful sort of floral aspects of Singapore. That's, you know, so green and lush. There's going to be some aspects in there that I can draw on as well. So I'm thinking, to get started, I might look at this range. It also comes with some Memory and More cards, which are fabulous extra little pieces that you can cut up for embellishment. You can use as titling. I love that one there, capturing memories one photo at a time. This also includes some stickers in here. So you've got a couple of sheets of two different styles of stickers. So those are nice little extra embellishment opportunities. And of course the smaller cards with things like this is worth remembering, or little journaling spots, good times, just nice, this happened. So just nice little extras we can add into our page to capture the story or just to embellish it. Also in that range, there's this lovely series of, they're called low profile dots. They've got golds, they've got that lovely sort of salmony pink. They're very flat, which is quite nice for scrapbooking, so not too much bump and bulk coming into your pages, but they do add that little bit of a sparkle and shine, so I think those are going to work beautifully as well. So that's where I'm going to start from. So what do I do next? So I'm finally ready to print some photos. So I only do my printing one page at a time, and I use my Canon selfie printer at home to do this. And I'm just going to focus today on the cover page. So a few highlight photos have been printed out for this. So the photos I've chosen are just one from each of the 4 different regions that we went to. We went to Singapore, Bangkok, Cambodia and Vietnam. So I thought that would be a really nice way to highlight the first page. I don't really want to cut these photos down too much. These are quite special photos. They show off some of the really amazing fun things that we did, some of the highlights, I guess. So I'm thinking that I may want to just frame them nice and easily and simply on my page. Now these have been printed by my Canon printer, and it does mean that they are printed very slightly under 6x4, which is really useful to me because it means I've got now a little bit of room to move and to get a nice frame on my page. Now I quite liked the idea of having a big banner through the center. That can be my title for the whole trip. And now I can just start to look at both some of the papers that I have selected out as to what's going to work well with these 4 photos, and at some of my stamp sets. Now I have gone through some of my stamps. The ones that do work specifically with the paper range I've chosen are these lovely florals. They don't have any titles. They've just got some nice sort of foliage that if I want to bring in, say these little leaves, it's going to be really good. I always like to pull in some of my stock standard sets, so I bring in things that give me little splotches or background images, some of the shapes that I like to use, tags, those sorts of things are always really handy to have close by. I also look for titles, and I've got this lovely set that has got Unforgettable Memories, What Fun, Better Together. Some of those are going to be perfect for this trip. We've also got this Love This Moment set that have got these tiny little sort of subtitles like highlights, details, this moment. You know, these are going to be perfect to draw in with the little camera, little speech bubble. Those sorts of things will work too. And I also probably going to pull in this lovely Capture the Adventure stamp set that came out through Stampin' Up! As we merged from Close to My Heart to Stampin' Up! And this one has got things like Capture Memories, it's got the lovely film strip, fun, smiles, this moment, so really apt for a travel set. So I've got a lot of bits and pieces to work with, so let's see what I come up with. So here you can see I'm going through my different papers. I quite like the black and white effect because it goes well with all 4 photos. There is that lovely blue in there. There is also that lovely bright reddy orange. It might just be a little bit too much, but I do keep getting drawn back to that peach stripe. That's going to work well with the black. So I'm thinking that might be where I head to. So I'm going to go off and do a little bit of tearing and pull those in now so that I've got a nice little border through the middle for my nice title. So a bit of stamping is required now. I do use my MISTI to help me out and make sure I get some lovely bold black images. I'm just stamping some bits and pieces that I can use for my journaling, for my titling, and just to have a few little extra pieces to decorate with. So after fussy cutting those out and also bringing in a tag, I have looked at the pocket cards, and there was a nice little floral that I could cut out a tag with. So layering all these together, I can now build a title. So I've got Capture the Adventure in Southeast Asia at this stage. I'm not so happy with that SE for Southeast. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that. But while I'm thinking about it, I'm also putting in a few little aeroplanes just to have that nice little effect of travel. And I actually pulled in the little trail from the Bumblebee stamp set that we've got out currently. So that just made a nice little tail for our aeroplanes flying through the sky. So now I'm just looking at some other ways to decorate that tag. I'm going to go around the outside to make it differentiate a little bit from the background paper by going around with the black. And now I've decided I'm going to stamp a couple of little extra things. I've got this cute little map that I can cut out. And I'm also going to go away and look for maybe a film strip and a camera and just see what I can do with those just to finish off the tag. I did decide to remove the SE for Southeast. I'm going to just put that into my journaling. So now I'm just pulling in a lovely little finishing off camera just to make that tag look complete. So just to finish it, I have stuck it all down, and I'd just like to add a few little bits of bling. It's always good to finish off with some bling, and I'm bringing in the gold from these lovely low profile dots just to make it all sparkle and look complete. Really enjoyed how this came together. I hope you enjoyed seeing it too, and we'll come back again, visit again as I go into my Singapore memories next.